Hello there, students. In this Cisco Packet Tracer tutorial, we will be dealing with the router connection device. So the connection device router, so I decided to use the one with the number 1941. And yeah, we're gonna have a router use it to set up the connection, and we're gonna have two different networks with the connection of the switch. So, and I will be dealing with the physical side as well. And when you want to use the router, there are some specifications you have to know. The first thing is the router uses the gigabit Ethernet connection. The switches stick with the fast Ethernet, and you should also provide the IP address for that particular domain that deals with the switch. And at the same time, you should provide the default gateway for the PCs that reach the other side of the network, if we say so, right? And on the physical side as well, I want to set up the network into three different closets or three different rooms, right? So let me stick or start with that one, right? We need two more closet. So one put over here, the other put over here, right? So go to the navigation, right? So I will put the the other two switch in the other closets, right? So I haven't put the connection between them, so let me put the connection between them, and then we can see the lines drawn in the room, right? So the rooms have a sort of lines shown that there is a connection. So the middle room gonna have the server, right? You can see the cable moving out. The left room is going to have the switch 0, and the right room is going to have one more switch, right? So we need some PCs to for this switches to have the connection established, right? So let's bring the PCs. So 3 PCs here and 3 more PCs here, and to make it look distinguishable, I will put some visual rectangles over here. And also one more thing you have to know, we will try to use a different IP address for this two different domain, right? So first let me stick with the images, right? So we will choose the, let's say, green color over here, right? So for this one we will stick with the green color, and for this one we will stick with the let's say orange color, right? This is the orange color, and we need some text as well to tell the IP address range. For this area we will use the IP address 172.16.1.1, and for this area we will use the IP address 172.17.1.1. all right? The connection between the switch and the router hasn't set because there are some configurations needs to be done, but let's stick with the setting up the connection with the switch and the other PC devices, and then we will be giving a IP address, right, for each of them. So for the first PC, for the first PC, we will give the IP address, as I mentioned, in the range of 172.16.1 and 100. And for the second PC, I will give the network IP address is 101. And for the third PC, the same 102, right? On this area, the other network area, we have the IP address to be given 172.17.1.1, 100, right? And the second PC gets the IP address of 101, and last PC will get the IP address of 102. all right, good, all set. The network is established within the switch. Right now we have to configure the router, and let's quickly go to the physical side as well, right? So this the closet, this room, this room that contains the contains the switch 0, right? So let me go to the logical. This is the switch 0, right? Yes, switch 0 should have the computers, right? Switch 0 should have the computers starting with 0, 1, and 2, right? And switch 1 should have the computers 3, 4. Oh, I made a mistake. 3, 4, and 5. 3, 4, and 5, right? So if I go to the other room, you can see computers are stored here, each connected to the switch. This room also has computers, each connected to the switch. And one more important thing, the one more wire goes out, which sets the connection to the router, right? So this router has two cables, one going to the room on the right and the other going to the room on the left, right? So now we have to deal with the router. So we go to the router, as I mentioned it. So for the first gigabit Ethernet connection, we will provide the IP address of the 172.16.1.1. So let's type it here. You're not going to use this IP address for each individual machines. It is just given as a sort of an address for that particular network, right? So I think I closed the window. So for the other gigabit Ethernet port, so we will provide the 17 as a IP address for that network. And one more important thing, we have to turn on the port status on each device, so that the connection will be. Now if you paid attention, here we had the red color. Now they are just being configured, and then it's still the orange as the common behavior for the switch, but it will become red soon, right? And the last thing, as I mentioned in the beginning of this tutorial, you should provide the default gateway for each computer to reach the computer in the other network, right? So for example, these three computers want to send some packets to the computers on the other network. They should know the default gateway address, right? So which is 172.17.1.1. And the same way, if these computers want to reach the other computers in the network, so they should know this address. So, and that can be, or that shall be set on the area called default gateway. So you go to the desktop, you go to the IP configuration, right over here you're gonna write 172.17.1.1, because this is the gateway address for the other network, right? So we set with it, and let me give it for the other two computers default gateway, and for the third one default gateway, right? And the same way, the vice versa for these computers on the sort of IP range of 172.17, we will give the default gateway as 16, right? So here we write 16, and here we provide 16 as well. And for the last PC, the same, we provide 16. Right, so it's done. So the network is set up properly. We provided the default gateways, we provided the IP addresses for each computers, right? Each computer has an IP address, and now we can try to do the basic simulation of packet sending. I'll try to do the ping with the PC0 over here. So I'll try to send the packet with the computer standing is in the neighbor in the same table, right? So which is the 16, 1, and 101, right? So this PC's IP address is the following: 172.16.1.1, 1, and 101, right? So 4 packets received successfully, everything is working correctly. And let's try to do the same thing with the computer in the other network. We provided the default gateway, so this one has 100, this one has 101, this one has 102. So we tried to send the packets to the computer in the middle, which is the following PC4, right, which has the IP address 101, right? So the first packet may have a request timeout, so that's a normal thing. So the other 3 packets will be, sent and received automatically. You can see we have 3 packets received, 1 is lost. So if we try that one more time, there should be 4 packets sent and received successfully, because now the route has been set up properly, I mean the pass, right? So with that said, this is the way how we can handle with the computer networks using the router device, right? So one last time, whenever you deal with the router, make sure that you turn on the port status, and you also make sure that you give some sort of IP address for that particular domain. And also the computers that want to exchange the packets with the computer in the other network area, they should also know the default gateway for that particular domain as well. All right, I think that's all for this tutorial. Thank you for the attention.